We met through school.
Yeah.
Where'd you meet me?
I met you through like Tawny, kind of. I knew you like from choir, but
Yeah, I met Tony through school.
our faith has probably brought us together. Well, like we get to see each other every day and like share like how God is working in our lives. So like that's pretty cool. And like I feel like if you have more people to share it with, then you get a broader understanding of like what God's doing in everyone's life. If you're just thinking about yours, like then sometimes there could be bad things, and then people are like, hey, like God's doing bad things in your life, but there's other people that have good things too. So I kind of like to just listen to what they have to say.
It's good to have your close friends go to church with you and to Bible studies with you, 'cause that's fun.
I think it helps, like, because sometimes we get nervous, you know, but when you see your friend standing up for Christ, it kind of feels like, okay, well, I should be able to do that too then.
I think God uses us because, like, when we're able to, like, talk about, like, God or talk about what happened at church, people are able to ask us questions about it or, like, ask us where we go to church, and we're able to invite them to our church.
Steps I take to live out my life for Christ in school would probably, well, just like to be kind to everyone and just like be that person that they can come to and like trust you, because like if you show God's love, they ask you about it. They're like, I have friends that have asked me, or just people that have asked me like, hey, why are you always so like happy, and why are you always so nice to people? And I'm just like, Jesus, like he's the one who gives me that happiness. Like without that, I would be a mess.
One time I met this kid and we met at Milady's, and he was asking me about like depression and stuff like that, and like how God can like bring like bad things into the world, and like how we have to deal with that stuff, and like if it's his fault, like God's fault. And well, I mean, it was a struggle because obviously I'm not super wise in it, but I was able to talk to him about it, about like how God still loves us and how he still cares for us through those hard times, that he's not far away from us like during those like struggles and stuff, that he's supposed to be carrying us through those trials.
One time in sociology class, this girl, she was like, oh, since you're Christian, and then yada, yada, yada. But it was like, she knew that I was Christian, so there must have been something that I would have said. And I don't know what it is, because I talk about like God all the time. But I feel like if she thinks that I'm a Christian, then other people must, which is like really good to know. Like I don't want people to think that I'm anything else, because I'm not. I noticed that there's not that many followers in the school or just around in general. And so that's just like a common thing that I have to deal with, like people thinking that what I like believe in is stupid or like dumb. And I'm just like, it's not. It's everything. I pray that God can use me every single morning, and so I feel like it's just what it is. I feel like that's God using me or finding ways to use me. I'm just glad that the Lord does use me in certain ways. So.
God has a plan, and I don't think just because you're young that he's just gonna push you away and not use you, because there's a lot of kids who are struggling right now because, I mean, parents like have an influence, and teachers have an influence, and school has an influence, and there's just so much in that life that's just like, you need that foundation for when you grow up, and you need Christ.
I say that that's not true. God uses me every single day, and I'm aware of that. And it also says in his word that he can use me at any age, and so I just believe that, and I know that he can use me right now. And since I am in high school, it's easy to share the gospel, and it's easy to talk to people about God, because this is when people are open to, no matter how like opposing it seems. And I know that God can use me. If I'm the only like believer around, then I try to just talk about God and talk about how amazing he is, because maybe these people don't know.
I'd probably say like you're wrong because I've seen it. My friends are doing it every single day. Like they tell me stories about like how this one kid asked them like why do you think God's real, and like they tell them, and like these kids are like what, like it makes them think about it, and that's really awesome. Like we have so many opportunities every day to like tell kids about these things, and even in our own church, like we can invite kids to youth group, and I've seen like all my friends that come to youth group, they're always like, I feel so welcome here, and like I feel like everyone loves me and that God does love me, and that makes me feel really happy.